How does this keep happening? How is each episode of this show better than the last? The Amazing Digital Circus just gave us, again, the best episode yet with They All Get Guns. Obviously, I'm going to talk spoilers, so don't watch if you haven't seen the episode yet. I'm going to start with everyone's favourite lesbians, Gangle and Zooble. I know Gooseworks said there wouldn't be any romance in this show, but girl, why are you lying? These two are so clearly in love and it's beautiful. If you weren't already convinced by the dedication of love they have for each other, especially Zooble participating in the adventure when she clearly doesn't want to, just to protect Gangle from Jax, then please explain to me why Zooble said this.
I want the ability to have sex.
Who do you want to have sex with, Zuby? We all saw the image Glitch posted of you and Gangle.
You know this thing?
Yeah, we're just work friends.
Work friends? You've been inside me.
And these two were just massive fucking badasses this episode. The instant I saw that Tommy gun, I was smiling so hard my mouth began to hurt. You go girl, fuck that Jester and Bunny up. This episode made me realize that I think Kinga might be my favourite character in the show. I absolutely adore his dynamic with Ragatha. He's such a dad. I want to talk about his conversation with Ragatha since it was probably my favourite scene in the episode, but I want to talk about it in comparison to what happens with Pomni and Jax. Speaking of which, I'm just going to come out and say it, Kinga may be my favourite character, but I think Jax is the best written character in the show. Is he a huge arsehole? Yes, obviously. But I love the complexities of his personality that he's trying so hard to hide. And I want to bring attention to that word, personality, because he is a person. This is why I hate the Jax is an NPC theory so much, because it just misses the point of the show. Beyond the silly jokes and bright colors, this show is about being human. And guess what? Humans can be shitty. They can end up with unhealthy coping mechanisms that end up hurting themselves and others. Jax is a great character because he's a human and feels emotions like a human. There's multiple scenes in this episode and Untitled where Jax clearly drops his mask and expresses his genuine feelings with Pomni. It's clear to everyone with a brain that he does care about her, and the person he hates the most is himself. There's some parallels with Ragatha and Kinga here. Kinga tells Ragatha how he used to hate himself and blamed himself for all the bad things that happened. I'm presuming he's talking about his wife abstracting. And while we can't confirm this yet, I feel Jax blames himself for Ribbit abstracting. He just handled it way worse. I also think it's worth mentioning how Ragatha mentions herself pushing Jax away, which seems to imply that they used to have a somewhat positive relationship. Can't exactly push someone away if they weren't with you to begin with. Jax isn't a good person. He's a deeply broken guy who is in desperate need of some actual therapy. That scene towards the end genuinely scared me. I don't want to see Jax abstract. I want to see him grow and heal. I feel like abstracting him would be a really lame way to end his story. I adore this entire scene with him and Pomni. No music at all. And the animation stays pretty normal until Pomni starts attacking him. It's basically entirely carried by the performances from Lizzie Freeman and Michael Kovac.
What would you do if I abstracted tomorrow?
I'd move on. And probably forget about you.
Like that line delivery, it just sounds so fake. He's holding back so much. I want to mention Pomni telling Jax to fight back. See, Jax interpreted this as Pomni trying to prove that he cares about her, but I see it like Pomni trying to get Jax to defend himself. It's more metaphorical. She wants him to actually care about himself. Not this ego-fueled self-love, but a real self-love. She wants him to stop ignoring all the negative things that are affecting him and to cope with them in a proper way instead of taking everything out on all the other circus members. I think that there's also more meaning to her saying, "You're not the funny one." I took this as her trying to get him to stop thinking about himself through that archetype and see himself for what he is, a human, and see everyone in the circus as a human. Because that whole archetype thing he brought up just isn't true at all. There's so much of the show where we see Jax not being funny, Ragatha not being cheerful, Kinga not being crazy, Zooble not being grumpy, and Gangle not being sad, and Pomni is trying to get that through his thick skull. Jax blowing up at her didn't cause her to stop caring about him. We can see this during the award ceremony. She clearly still cares, and even Ragatha seems to care a bit. At least she cares simply for Pomni's sake. To wrap up, I want to give a new theory for the future of the show. We can clearly see that this revolver with the CNA logo on it also has Cain and Abel engraved in it. So I think it's pretty obvious what CNA stands for now. But that raises the question, we have Cain, but who is the Abel in this story? Well, I don't think it's one individual. In the story of Cain and Abel, Cain kills Abel out of jealousy due to God liking Abel's offering more than his. And oh look at that, the circus gang have constantly been more in favor of each other's adventures over Cain's. I think the Abel in this story are the humans. Does that mean I think Cain will end up killing them? No, but I do think he will continue to lose it and cause the game to break down in some way. Which really sucks because he could solve all these issues if he just touched some goddamn grass. Sorry Cain and Bubbly Boo, you're still at the bottom of the leaderboard. Wow, I did not expect to have this much to say. I'm hyped for whatever Gooseworks and the team have got cooking next, but I'm gonna leave it there, so like and subscribe to make me smile, and I will see you later. Oh yeah, and I think Last from Steven Universe is really hot.